Global Times, 19th of October 2022, the U.S.'s oil for security plan is in danger because Saudi Arabia wants to join BRICS. The U.S. doesn't need oil from Saudi Arabia because it has its oil market. Although, Saudi Arabia is wrong to think that the U.S. needs its oil. In the middle of a worsening disagreement with the U.S. over oil production, Saudi Arabia has said it wants to join BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. China sees this as threatening Washington's oil for security strategy in the Middle East and meddling in other countries' affairs. ABC, a radio station in South Africa, said on Tuesday that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, who is also Saudi Arabia's prime minister, did express Saudi Arabia's desire to be part of BRICS and that Saudi Arabia is not the only country that wants to join BRICS. Reuters reported that Ramaphosa went on a state visit to Saudi Arabia last week. During the trip, the two countries signed deals and memorandums of understanding worth about $15 billion. In 2023, South Africa will be in charge of the BRICS group. Reports say that Saudi Arabia wants to join BRICS. This comes when the country is in a political spat with the U.S. over oil production to help the world market since the U.S. is oil independent. In October, OPEC+, which Saudi Arabia runs, said it would cut oil production by 2 million barrels daily. This will cause gas prices to rise this fall and winter, just weeks before the U.S. midterm elections. There were substantial political efforts by the Biden administration to stop the move that could hurt the Democrats' election chances. However, the choice was later criticized and called short-sighted, according to a CNN report. Obama did pass a law that could make oil in the U.S. stay in the U.S. The U.S. oil price will go down if the act is implemented, but it will go up very quickly everywhere else. On Sunday, Al Jazeera reported that a top U.S. source said U.S. President Joe Biden has no plans to meet with the Saudi Crown Prince at the G20 summit in Indonesia next month. In the meantime, Saudi leaders have clarified that they will not do what the U.S. says. Reports say that on Monday, the CEO of the Future Investment Initiative, which is putting on the Davos of the Desert Saudi Investment Conference, said that U.S. government officials would not be called to the event at the end of this month. There is a game being played by Saudi Arabia because they know the U.S. does not need their oil. A foreign policy expert in Beijing who asked to remain anonymous told the Global Times on Wednesday that the U.S. wanted Saudi Arabia to follow its orders and do what it wanted. Still, the situation showed that Washington had played its cards too high. In the meantime, Saudi leaders have clarified that they will not do what the U.S. says. Reports say that on Monday, the CEO of the Future Investment Initiative, which is putting on the Davos of the Desert Saudi Investment Conference, said that U.S. government officials would not be called to the event at the end of this month. According to China's propaganda machine, the Saudis didn't have to think too hard about their decision because the U.S. was in a lot of trouble, and its policies were not stable. The expert said, joining BRICS will also protect Saudi Arabia's energy interests substantively, rather than being a card to be used by others. BRICS is a multilateral organization that brings together emerging market economies. It promotes cultural variety, political openness, and economic cooperation between member countries. Analysts say that Saudi Arabia's power would grow if it joined BRICS. This would happen in economic, political, and security issues worldwide. The Beijing-based propaganda expert said that if Saudi Arabia joined BRICS, it would lead other Middle Eastern countries to improve their ties with BRICS countries and make the U.S. less influential in the area. As the world changes, Li Xiaoxian, director of the China Institute for Arab Studies at Ningxia University, told the Global Times on Wednesday that Saudi Arabia needs to change the oil for security deal with the U.S. because it is now more important to not put all its eggs in one basket. Europe needs energy from the Middle East, Russia takes it seriously, and China has good links with it through the Belt and Road Initiative. However, Li said, the Saudis do not feel equality and mutual respect in a US-led framework. China, on the other hand, can't promise Saudi Arabia's safety. At the same time, BRICS cooperation is growing in many areas, such as local currency deals. This is happening while the US uses the dollar as a weapon. Putin, the president of Russia, told the BRICS Business Forum in June through a video message that his country was considering making an international reserve currency out of the BRICS currencies in June. Countries are tired of both China and the US, which are trying to take over by using their strong dollar and ability to make rules to achieve hegemony. I said that this is why more and more countries are ready to show their freedom in ways different from China and the US while readjusting the international financial order. Saudi Arabia has a giant sovereign wealth fund in the US. If it joins BRICS in the future, China hopes, Li said, it will speed up the fall of the petrodollar. However, the Chinese yuan can't be used because trying to make it a widely traded currency would be bad for China's economy. Because China doesn't have any fiscal control and is artificially tied to the dollar.